Right, I need a cup of tea and a think on this one. Right, I've finished my cup of tea now, just sitting here looking and observing, and this is why you never rush in. Right, I've got the solution. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the grey wire as far up here as I can, this lower grey wire here, and I'm going to cut this white wire as far back towards the duff transformer as I can, and then I'm going to do a splice on that wire and a splice on this wire, and then join them to the other transformer, and then that means I haven't even got to touch this. That can sit there and that's as good as done. Right, the old dodgy transformer is out. Thank God for that. How hard was that to get out? So I'll give in here a bit of a clean. I've managed to leave all the wires attached to the board. You can just move the board to one side and leave them in. So I've got this white wire here going down to the on-off switch that I've had to cut. And then this long wire here that goes in the very back of the transformer, I've had to desolder from this wire here and pull it out of this sleeving. I just hope I can get the other wire from the other transformer back up the sleeving. Right, there's its earth wire. So I'll give just a quick wipe over in there, go and get the other transformer and see about getting that in. But again, it's early, just doing my bit before I go to work. 6:09 AM. So let's go and get the other one. I'll see if we can start at least cleaning this and getting it back. I've just added a US label to the transformer because the last thing I want to do is get distracted and then put this transformer back in and wire it all up, only to discover I've put the old one back in. You may laugh, but stranger things could happen. So now I can identify which is the knackered transformer. Right, previously on this unit here you had the resistor coming down here into this sleeving, and it went into here and joined to this wire, and then the white wire came down and went into the bottom of the transformer. Well, on Dave's one the wiring is different, so he's got this one white wire coming down here, so this is wired differently, or is it? No, that's the same. So the star wire is the second one. I'm going to finish for the morning. I need to sit down tonight and get my head around this wiring before I put it back together. But at least we've got another milestone. So this is the new transformer without the US thing on it. So I'm going to leave that there. I'll have a look at that tonight when I get my head round. I've got my notes, which wires I cut and also where they connect onto the transformer. But this does appear to be, no actually no it isn't, because that's the same. But this doesn't connect. Yeah, I've definitely pulled the white wire out of here and that went down into the very, oh no, it goes into here, so it is going into the, no, it's going somewhere. Ah, wait a minute, what are we doing? The wire's actually longer, that's all it is. So the one that goes into here is the one I cut from here, from the on-off switch, which is what I've desoldered here. So now I have got, the wiring is right, it's just that this has got more wire on it than this. No, because that's the lamp one. I think this, with this little tiny sleeve here, is actually this, because it's connected to the lamp. And then the one that I cut was this one, which goes down to the on-off switch on this one, but it doesn't on this one. It goes to the lamp. It does go to the lamp. No, so this is the lamp circuit, which is this. So then that white... No, because I've just taken the white wire out of it. Oh, for God's sake. Right, time to go to work. Right, if you're playing along at home, here's what I've come up with. The white wire coming out the transformer here, which is in the second slot from the back here, that comes along and connects to the white wire going down to the on-off switch. The black wire coming from the old lamp, I've snipped that. That then connects to the grey wire with the resistor in it. The other one didn't have a resistor in line, so yeah, don't ask. That goes to the lamp here. And then that's it, I think. Yeah, white to there, black to there. And that should be the connections. Then I can drop the transformer in. So I'm just going to heat shrink all this up, get these soldered in. These are the bits of wire that I've had to trim off to get the new wires in. So yeah, let's go from there. Well, it probably looks like spaghetti junction in there at the moment, but I've managed to solder the wires. I've got the blue heat shrink in position. What I need to do is go and get a hot air gun and then blow over the two to shrink the wires on. Unfortunately, it's time for me to go to work, so I'm going to have to hit the road, but I'll have to do that, well, maybe this evening or if not tomorrow morning, but yeah, I'll run out of time now. But it's a good milestone. I've got this lined up to bolt back in, so once I've heat shrunk that, I can bolt the transformer in and stop it sliding around. Then we can slide the board back into position and start resoldering some of these wires back on. Good progress. It's all figured out. Wiring's all in. I've given it double heat shrink over the top. So, first thing we can do is put the LED back in. Which is here. It just pushes in evidently. Let's just see which way up it goes, hold on. Right, there's a little groove at the bottom of the LED. That goes to the bottom, and then the little wire coming out the bottom sits in the groove, so that's in. Right, so the next thing I can do now is attempt to bolt the transformer in. What I've got to get lined up is this earth wire here with the black wire, where the bolt comes through here. That needs to go on top of the bolt at the back. You're not going to be able to see a lot with me doing that because it's going to be down in the dark. But these are the bolts that hold it in. So let me just get the transformer bolted in. It's 6:15. I'm not going to get it finished this morning, but I'll start anyway. Well, believe it or not, transformer's all bolted in. All the wiring's on. I've just got to bolt the board to the back now and solder on these connections here and mount the board on the standoffs and connect the earth wires here. We can fire this up. Yeah, not easy getting that transformer in. There's a lot of fiddling around to get that done, but as I say, it's all gone in, soldered all on, so we're cracking on. Oh, and I've got to connect this capacitor across here, but I'll do that once the board is in. It's all back together. Board's all in, all the wiring's done. I'm going to just carefully put some cable ties around here, tidy it all up at some point. But the first thing I wanted to do, I'm running really late now, so I just literally have got time to fire this up. I so hope we don't get the old crackling bacon sound on the transformer. So right, let me plug it in. Right. Hopefully, second time lucky. Here goes. I can't hear any crackling bacon. Valves are glowing. I'm just looking for any smoke. can hear the valves warming up. That's about it. So, initial fire up looks quite promising. Right, I've got to head off to work. I'm going to have to end the video there. The next video, I'll have to get all the test equipment out and we'll have to fire this thing up and actually use it in anger. See if we can get any power out of it. But you can see it there. I'll flick the light off. You can see the valves glowing away. And I can't see or smell any smoke yet, so it's looking rather promising. Right, I've got to go. Catch you in the next video, but what a result.